Safer word this time.
What's good?
What's up?
All right, I'm gonna
Okay,
get
so
you a
let me
better
make.
spot to where I can hear you. I was connecting part of me. All that. Hold
All
on
right,
for 1 second. Yeah.
all right.
Ah,
So, hello, hello, hello. Finally,
finally, pardon me. Yeah, what's good? What's good over there?
what's going on? So, let's go ahead and. I'm not going to keep you too long. I just want to basically want people to know who you are that don't know who you are.
Right.
Um, just tell us everything about Pop Brown Hornet, where you originated from, where all the way up until this point.
Well, to give you a brief rundown, check this out. Yeah, I'm Pop the Brown Hornet from out of Stapleton, Staten Island. Stapleton is where the Wu was birthed at. Yeah, that's where the seed was planted. So I'm kind of like the prequel to the Wu Tang Clan. I've been around just as long as individuals that's claiming to be Wu Tang. So a lot of individuals get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be, and a lot of individuals on the internet they have me as a Wu affiliate, which I'm down with the Wu Tang era, but
Mm.
I would debate for me to say that I'm an affiliate. The world doesn't know me solely because RZA gave me a shout out on the 36 Chambers or what have you. So with that being said, there's a lot of individuals that's down with Wu Tang Clan that prior to being introduced to it to RZA was down with other groups and things of that nature. And then they got down with the Wu Tang movement once RZA introduced it to him because he used to be called the Prince Rakeem.
Dope, dope, dope. So
Yeah, he used to be
let me
signed
ask
to
you a question.
Tommy Boy Records or whatever the case may be. So me, Pop the Brown Hornet, originally out of Stapleton, Staten Island, down with the Wu Tang movement before it became global and worldwide to the world, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. I used to be down called with I used to be signed to MCA Records down with a crew called GP Wu. I also rhymed on several Shaheem that did a lot of writing on that album as well. I mean, Shaheem got a song called "Shit Is Real." I also was on Dead God. I dropped a solo album on MCA Records called "The Underground Emperor." A lot of people may know me for that. One of my songs that I'm really known for is "Black on Black Crime." I had a joint called "Follow Me Up." So I'm definitely a Stapleton and Staten Island history or whatever the case may be. So even though, you know, on Hulu and all of that, they don't have me written in, but at the same time, there was a reference in one of the parts where Ghostface is saying that he had made the song called "No More Mr. Nice Guy," which was supposed to be a rebuttal to Method Man's diss to the Stapleton. Actually, "No More Mr. Nice Guy" was "No More Mr. Nice Guy" was my song, and it was produced by R&S. R&S made the original track. So I'm in the history of Staten Island, but I'm not being etched in the history as far as the Wu is concerned. Because if you didn't run with that conglomerate at that time, they don't have no intentions on giving you any recognitions. If they can't be the sole emperors and the big fish out in Staten Island, there's no way in the world they want to try to give that light to anybody else that came from Staten Island. But I've been there since the beginning. Um, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I did a album with King Just called "The Best of Both Worlds: The Emperor and the King." King Just is known from doing Hey Ya Ho." That was the beat that was produced by R&S, which is my favorite producer from out of Staten Island, New York. Everybody knows RZA, but RZA is even quoted for saying that R&S showed him how to use certain equipment that helped him propel him and the clan to a certain platform. So yeah, when people want to hear stories of Staten Island, I've been embedded in Staten Island history for over 25 years as well. I have a current album out now called Foreman Mandela on all digital platforms. Add me to your playlist. I'm still at it. To all of those Pop the Brown Hornet fans that might be inquiring, Foreman Mandela is the album.
So let me. I was looking at a interview you had did not too long ago, and some people took it as you were kind of had some shadiness towards the Wu Tang Clan. Is that right, or did they take it wrong?
Well, actually, and let's listen, man. At the end of the day, there's never no shadiness to the clan. They've done what they've done. They got 25 years in this. Like I always tell people, man, it's Wu Wednesdays. They're historians. They're classic, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it's just not Wu Tang that it resides out here in Staten Island. And me being part of knowing, me being part of the era when they came up, and knowing that they threw a lot of blocks on individuals, including myself and a lot of other artists that's from out of Staten Island. Because at the end of the day, they just didn't share. When you got a kid, well, even when you watch the documentary, these or their Hulu thing, they show that they struggled, they came up hard, and it's just like a kid that got a new toy. Sometimes they don't want to share, and that's what Wu Tang did. I mean, they don't owe anybody anything, but like I tell individuals, if Pop the Brown Hornet got on, and then I'm starting mingling around millionaires, I don't have to give you the money out of my pocket. I can say, you know what, yo, something for the culture. I can't give you the money myself. But homie over here, he's sitting on about 15 mil. I already spoke to him for you. He's willing. He wants to invest in something that's going to pop off. I said something for the coach is the next best thing. You should need to talk to her, whatever the case may be, and then just make that connection. And that's what Wu had the power to do for over the last 25 years. And I think that their Staten Island had suffered behind them being on top because like RZA once said, I mean, he called himself the Noah of Staten Island. So, and if you didn't get on his ship at that time, then you got flooded over, you got drowned, and you didn't survive, and you didn't get down with me, and you wasn't smart, or whatever the case may be. So, but it's more to it than that. Like everybody doesn't, you got to get in where you fit in. Everybody doesn't feel that they should get down with RZA and his way of thinking, and that's how I felt at the time. You know what I mean? It was definitely brought to my attention that they wanted me to be down with the clan, and I refused because I got on the phone with RZA personally, and he was like, "Yo, if you get down, you only get to get 5% of your song." And me at that time, I wasn't willing to take that chance. You know what I mean? Did they blow up? Did they become worldwide? So be it. So fine and dandy, but it still wasn't for me. And I'm still happy with the decision that I made. I'm not bitter. I'm glad that they're successful. From one black man going out to several black need to be down with that, and I don't take anything from them. But at the same time, don't stop me. You know what I mean? It's like if you at one building and you making money, I don't have to throw shade at you. I'm gonna go out to my building, I'm gonna make my money. And I just feel like Wu are some of the biggest haters on Staten Island for the last 25 years. They didn't let individuals such as myself, the King Justice, the Shaheems, and so forth. They could have easily opened up the door. They could have easily said, "Yo, why don't you open up for us?" It could have been a Staten Island tour going on right now with Wu Tang and fucking Pop the Brown Hornet and King Just and Shaheem and the acts that was yet to come. There's so much talent out here, but the world only looks at Staten Island as being a W, and it's far from that. So I don't mean to throw shade, but I have to say at the same time they weren't the full representation for Staten Island in my borough, and I feel that to this day.
Okay. So what about the affiliates? There's no bad blood
Definitely, listen.
with them.
There's definitely, let me get this clear. There's definitely never any bad blood or with any affiliates because you know what? When you affiliate to something, you don't really know the whole true story. There's so many people that are affiliated and run with that Wu Tang logo. They don't know my story. I don't know them, and I have no animosity against them. I want them to be as successful as they want to be because you know what? They fell in love with a movement, but that movement started where I'm from. It started from the seed was planted in Stapleton Project. Then the tree grew. And then the tree you didn't see until it became the Wu-Tang Clan. But the roots, you got to water the roots in order for that tree to grow. And I'm just saying, I'm part of the grain. I'm part of the roots. I'm part of the seed. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely never mad at any affiliate because y'all part of that tree that grew. And then if y'all was recruited by RZA, so be it. You know what I mean? But the saga continues. There's so many people that's down with the Wu-Tang movement that aren't down with RZA, such as myself. You know what I mean? That up and there's a whole nother branch that stems off of that. So I'm never I could never come out of an affiliate. Yeah, I helped the Wu legacy live on, but that Wu legacy started from Staten Island. You know what I mean? And a lot of people got to realize that a lot of people that's down with the Wu Tang Clan, even though they spent time here, like your Rizzes and your Jizzes and your old dirty bastards. Old dirty bastards said it on 36. He said it on Protect Your Neck. Brooklyn Zoo. So people that have a mind, they got to think, damn, how's a dude from Brooklyn representing Shaolin, Staten Island? You know what I mean? That's because RZA put together this Wu Tang Clan that the idea he got from Staten Island, which started in Stapleton, where I'm from. You know what I mean? So if you're not gonna pay homage to where you're from, things like the Wu District sign being snatched down, shit happens because you didn't come back to the land that you claimed. You didn't do anything for these kids that are out here. You know what I mean? You didn't come back and water those plants. So a lot of those feelings died, diminished. That Wu-Tang Clan sign should never get snatched down. But that's the street speaking out, saying, yo, you coming out here, you bringing cameras out here, but you're not doing nothing for the people that's from out here. So I'm just like I said, I have a foundation. I'm solidified. You know what I mean? I'm a historian. I was signed to MCA Records with GP Wu. I did my own album, Underground Emperor. So Pop the Brown Hornet, like I said, Black on Black. I was blasted on Funk Master Flexes. My shit's been played or whatever the case may be. So when they say cream rises to the top, or if you scratch past the surface of Wu Tang, I'm right there. You know what I mean? I'm right underneath the surface because I was there during the beginning times. So, and no, I didn't bow down to the almighty Wu Tang. That doesn't make me a bad person, doesn't make them a bad person for not putting me on. But there's people out there that say, you know what, damn, they did say your name in up from the 36 chambers. We have Old Dirty Bastard, Ghostface Killer, Method Man, but Pop the Brown Hornet. So why did he say my name? That's because he knew I was down and I was around before the clan formed. I've been around since I'm the prequel. I predate the Wu Tang Clan. Like I said, my producer was RNS. RNS did production for Shaheen. RNS did production for GP Wu. RNS did the production for Pop the Brown Hornet. RNS did King Just. So I'm part of a Staten Island legacy and history that they cover up and don't expose and don't show. And I don't think that's right.
I feel you. I feel you. Um, Let me ask you this: what are some of the other artists that you have worked with over your time period of being in the industry?
Well, to be honest, I mean, besides my peers, like besides the GP Wu family, I did work with Chauncey Black from Black Street. There was a joint that I did on my album. I have worked with the King Justice of the World. Um, I did a couple of joints with Method Man. That really didn't really get out there and get exposed. I worked with my man DSA, Dark Skin Assassin. So it's a lot of homegrown Trife the God, a lot of homegrown Staten Islanders I did a lot of work with or whatever. So it's not like I really touched into the industry and did, features with people from the industry because my wings got clipped before that time really was able to transpire and manifest itself. You know what I mean? Do I think I'm capable or was I capable of doing so? Yes. If the doors was if I wasn't hated on at a big magnitude, so that's why I made the resurgence. But I haven't really did too many features with individuals from the industry. It's more Staten Island based.
Okay. Um, would you like to work with other people that are not Staten Island based?
Oh, but of course, I'd have no problem doing that. If the opportunity showed face for me to make a song that I felt like was going to be a classic and be impactful to the industry, I'd have no problem doing that.
Okay. Tell us about your current album that you have out now. Tell us your hit song off of there, and just tell us how you came about forming that whole album together.
Well, I have a couple of singles that's out on YouTube. I got a Straighten It Out off the album. We Came Here to Turn Up featuring King Just. Straighten Out, like I said, is featuring my physical son Don Dollars. I got a song called Zaddy Gotcha that I got a video on YouTube, and I just currently did a song featuring Dom Stacks called Hustle Hard off the Foreman Mandela album. And I named it Foreman Mandela because I took George Foreman and Nelson Mandela and combined their last names. George Foreman was once quoted for saying it took him 20 years to get up after Ali knocked him down, but that didn't take him off his course or what he wanted to do. He came back, became one of the oldest heavyweight champions of the world, got the George Foreman grill, things of that nature. So he didn't let time defeat him. You know what I mean? Same with Nelson Mandela, locked up for like 27 years. He came out. He didn't let time defeat him and still became the president of certain parts of Africa, Nobel Peace Prize winner, stayed true to his course. And that's kind of like who I am. I embodied that. It's been close to 20 years since I dropped my own solo album, Underground Emperor. So I came out and I embodied Foreman Mandela. Since it was 20 years, I didn't let time defeat me. I stay true to the classic hip hop, regardless of what's going on now with the trap rap or the mumble rap or this, that, and the third. I came out with traditional hip hop, letting it be known that there's still real hip hop lovers that's out there and that's intrigued by the classic hip hop lyricism.
Cool. We got a question for you. Jonathan Bourne Jackson, he asks, is there a book in the works?
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of things in the works, man. Like I tell people, the story's supposed to be sold, not told. So if it's a book, a documentary, there's things that's in the workings now because now that the Staten Island is trending and individuals are intrigued with more than, with a few different stories that come out from Staten Island. And since I do have a foundation and a history to it, the more people that become more intrigued with the Pop the Brown Hornet, Stapleton, Staten Island, music, the hip hop music lifestyle on Staten Island before Woo, BW, before Woo, and what exists with the UMCs and the Pop the Brown Hornets. And, because like I said, the Wu-Tang Clan, those were individual artists. I mean, before Raekwon, he was Sha La. Method Man was Sha Quan. You know what I mean? The RZA was the Rakim. The Jizza was the Genius. Ghostface was Sun God. I knew those brothers. So before those brothers became a pact and they joined together, they was individual artists. They got together and power comes with numbers. And with those numbers, they were able to block brothers like myself, who was an individual. You know what I mean? And so they collided together, they collaborated together, and they threw a lot of blockage on individuals that was trying to come up. And if you wasn't underneath that regime, then more or less they didn't co-sign you being down with Staten Island. 25 years later, you know what I mean? I still exist. My sign wasn't muffled out. And so, yeah, if it's a book, whether it's, like I said, whether it's a biography, documentary, something that's definitely gonna springboard for me being still relevant in today's time.
So if you were to be approached right now to tell this entire story, would you do it?
Of course, I would tell it. And like I said, like the story's supposed to be sold, not told. So if somebody came to me and be like, yo, you got an intriguing story. You know what I mean? Like I tell people, man, there's a head and there's a tail. When you got a coin, there's a head and there's a tail. You've been hearing the head and you've been playing its head all the time, but there's a tail. There's a flip side to the story. You know what I mean? There's something that predates the woo and the history and the lifestyle that existed. And a lot of it came out of Stapleton, Staten Island. Wu-Tang was planted in Stapleton, Staten Island. To be honest with you, the truth, to be told, a lot of people that's down with the Wu-Tang Clan, they was DMD, they was Dick 'em Down. That's what existed in Park Hill. And when the Prince Rakeem came out on Tommy Boy, he had a single. And the A side was DMD, Dick 'em Down. That was Park Hill. That was Method Man, Raekwon. Those were Dick 'em Down. Inspector Deck. Those was Dick 'em Down. Wu Tang was where I'm from, where Shaheem was from, where Ghostface was from. So what RZA was able to do, he was able to. Those brothers were 5%ers at the time. So he got those brothers, the A alike, B alike, C alike. He got up a contract. Those brothers signed the contract, not knowing what they really signed. That's why later on they always bickering on Hot 97. You God wrote a book how RZA got over on them rock because they didn't read. They just signed a contract, thought it was going to be equality, and they gave away a lot. RZA walked away with 50% publishing and then 50% production, 5% publishing. So his hand was in the cookie jar twice. He ate a lot, you know what I mean? And a lot of these brothers didn't eat like the RZA, but they had to band together and still perform as a group in order to make the fans happy. But not too many people ate out of that, and I didn't want to be part of that. I'd rather create my own plate and eat off my own plate, even if I ate at a little bit. I'd rather like Leo, what It was once said, I'd rather do it my way. Frank Sinatra said. So that's what it really boils down to. I'd rather do it my way. You know what I mean? So,
We got another question here. Jay Real from the Real Hip Hop Show. Shout out to him as well, and shout out to Jonathan Bourne Jackson from Do the Knowledge Radio. The question is, so you don't fuck with RZA? Is that the truth?
no, I don't mess with RZA. I have nothing really against him, but like I said, my producer on Staten Island always was R&S. R&S is the godfather of making hip hop, the hip hop sound on Staten Island. Period, point blank, bottom line. I have more hits on Staten Island. Like before people hit wax, I used to go up R&S's house and make mega tracks. People all around Staten Island know who I am before people started hitting wax. And R&S was always my go-to guy. You know what I mean? RZA wasn't really making beats. He was the Prince Rakeem. Then he started making beats, and then the Clan came along, or whatever the case may be. But when it come to making classical Staten Island hip hop hits, R&S was always my producer. So I mean, I wouldn't really switch up. I have no desire to get any beats from RZA whatsoever. Like I said, my dude is R&S. I just dropped the album Foreman Mandela, which was produced by Phantom of the Beats, aka Haas G from the UMCs. You know what I mean? Which he lived in Stapleton, which he came from the temple, such as myself, and he was an understudy of R&S. So I never felt it I need to go to RZA and make and get any beats, and I don't feel like I need to do that right now as well. Like I said, they had 25 years in the game. RZA never called my phone and said, "Yo, Pop, let's do a beat together, or let's do something." So why do it now? I think the Wu has reached has hit their ceiling. You know what I mean? So that's why they're coming out with documentaries and they're coming out with Hulu stories or whatever the case may be that are fabricated because hit their ceiling. So they have to come out with something to keep their relevancy going on. You know, and now to the fact that you said Ugal comes out with a book, a tell tour, he's telling like the Wu ain't really what they was, and I got a song on YouTube talking about the Wu is over. The reason why I made the song called The Woo Is Over is due to the fact that no real big diss to the Woo, but I just wanted the world to know that there's more people out here on Staten Island than this the Woo. So y'all got to stop looking at Staten Island as just being Wu-Tang Clan because there's so many voices. There's so many up-and-coming artists that's coming out of Staten Island that y'all need to pay attention to. I just happen to be an individual. Like I said, once you scratch the surface, Pop the Brown Hornet comes right there. Cream rises to the top. My foundation is already laid, but my voice speaks volumes for a lot of individuals that's out here on Staten Island.
I got a couple of questions here for you. First one. So, in your opinion, do you think the rest of the Wu was fronting for the cameras?
Like I said, they signed contracts. Look what Method Man did. Method Man got down with Def Jam real early. Russell signed him. Him and Redman got with the Redman Method Man tour. Boom, boom, boom. He didn't really look back. He was able to keep himself relevant outside the clan because he like and the clan when they was getting on, all of them was quick to go sign their solo deals because underneath that umbrella, you know, they were limited because like I said, they who was eating the most out of it. So I don't want to say they're fronting for the camera. They diehard fans. I mean, they might be. Once you make a pact or something and you go all out, you know what I mean? I can't really say how those brothers feel because I'm not in that circle. But one thing I do know is once they made that pact, they committed to that. And like one thing that like Don King when he was messing with Mike Tyson, and they was like, yo, Don, I heard you robbing Mike and shit. Don King was like, listen, man, no matter what, man, motherfucker Mike Tyson can sell hot dogs at Nathan's in Brooklyn. He's always going to draw a crowd. And that's what Wu's going to do. They're always going to draw a crowd because what they represented, the time that they represented is bottled and capped. You can't take that away from them. You know what I mean? They talk about the crack era and it's glorified and it's look and it sounds pretty. They did the Wu Gambinos. They did so many things. I'm gonna come get my food. Thank you. I appreciate that. They've done so many things that people can relate to, and people like you hear a certain song, you go back in time and you love that, so you can't take that away from them. So they do have to put on a certain face in order to represent that W. But I just don't think that W is as tight as it used to be. And then when Old Dirty got arrested, rest in peace, and I love Old Dirty. But when he came out, he signed with The Rock. That was for a reason. You know what I mean? It wasn't as tight as knit as individuals claim that they were, and they had to deal with their own business on their own accord. So, with that being said, like I said, I'm not entwined with their personal business, but I don't think I think I think they're just getting along in order to make that dollar, and in order for to please the fans at the end of the day.
All right. So I have another question here for you. They said, what's your last one-on-one memory of ODB?
Oh, check this out. I have I could tell y'all a story about OD. I love ODB, man. You know what I mean? But the one of the last I have a few, but I'm gonna tell y'all this one. Me and ODB, I got into it with OD's big brother one time, 60th Second Assassin, and and for what it's worth, I apologize. I was young, you know what I mean, and me and him got into an altercation, and we was at Trafalgar Square out in Queens, or whatever the case may be, and I got into an altercation with his brother, and maybe like an hour or something later, I was up in VIP, and people started storming the VIP. And I was like, oh shit, these motherfuckers is deep. Who they coming to fuck up? And lo and behold, they was coming right for me. And so old Dirty was in front of the crowd. And he was like, yo, what's up, yo, Brown Hornet, what's good? Yo, I heard you and my brother got into it or whatever, whatever. And the bouncers at the shit in the VIP made me and Old Dirty Bastard go into the bathroom because he had his crew and people backed me up. So the bouncers came, the cop, off-duty cops, they put us into the bathroom, and Old Dirty Bastard was like, yo, I love you. He was like, yo, you a real dude. He was like, yo, you ain't like them Paul Kill dudes. Like, you ain't soft. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, no, listen, man. Listen, I don't roll with y'all. I don't know about this Paul Kill shit, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you just ain't going to come to me and fuck me up for no reason. I said, I only put my hands on your brother because it seemed like he wanted to get me fucked up because he wasn't respecting the fact that I was Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? Because, like RZA got so many people down with the Wu Tang and saying that brothers like myself who represent when it real started, they don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know the history there's a lot of people that hit me to this day like, yo, GP Wu, I ain't know about y'all history. Because once RZA got on, he just ran with it and it was like me, 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 me. But it was deeper than him. But one thing about Old Dirty Bastard, when we left that bathroom, he was like, yo, I love you. And I was like, yo, I love you. That is because after that, shortly after that incident, I was at the Source Awards, same Source Awards that what's your boy from Death Row, Suge Knight, approached Suge. It was like, yo, if you don't want to, you're down dancing all in your videos, get down with Death Row. But I was waiting online. He was waiting online to get in the Source Awards. We had bumped into one of the Wu-Tang entourage, and he was like, yo, get us in. And he was like, yo, I'll be right back. And he left us out there for about 20 minutes. ODB came to the line, and he recognized, he seen who it was. What's up, Lisa? How you feel, sweetie? All right. And he was like, yo, he recognized who it was. He was like, oh, shit, what you doing out here? I was like, yeah, we waiting for, homies to let us into the Source Awards and shit. He was like, yo, come with me. He got us in the Source Awards. You know what I mean? When nobody else was coming outside. After I had the altercation with his brother, he could have just said, yo, you know what? Fuck you. I ain't doing nothing. But he kept it gully. He kept it gangster. And he showed love. You know what I mean? And that goes to show the realness about Old Dirty. Like, he ain't hold no grudges. So I always wonder, why these other brothers hold so much grudges? 25 years, B. Y'all could have easily put Staten Island on a bigger magnitude. There's supposed to be a Wu-Tang fucking museum out here on Staten Island. But due to the fact they didn't help brothers get on, it's like the love is not really sincere the way it is with the individuals they help, but it's supposed to be, when they come out here, it's supposed to be a goddamn fucking parade out here. And there's individuals who they did wrong that the love doesn't come full circle like that for them.
I got another question for you. Jay Real wanted to know who's the next big thing coming out of Staten Island besides, you know, of course you, Wu Tang, but who else is coming out?
Yo, I don't even want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I tell you, it's so many, like it's so many of them. Like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, if I was to open the door and motherfuckers would really bum rush, I mean, yo, Like I said, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings and tell you next best thing. All I can tell you to do is stay tuned to Staten Island because there's a lot of young, hungry MCs coming up, and they underneath me, and they may be like I don't know who might appeal to who. I don't know who likes what kind of genre of music, but there's so many different artists that cover so many, whether it's political, street, right, whatever it is. It is out here on Staten Island, and one thing I always wanted to do. That's why I made a comeback because I always told myself I want to be an ambassador for Staten Island. I want to be a voice because so many people are blinded, and they just so stuck on that W that there needs to be a voice and there needs to be a mediator to help break the barrier and just break through so a lot of these other artists can be heard that's up and coming from out of Staten Island. So I don't know who the next best thing is. They're gonna have to step up and snatch their spot. You know what I mean? But I do know there's a lot of talent that's out here.
What would you tell some up and coming artists? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would tell them, fuck what anybody say, man. Believe in yourself. Be the last person to believe in yourself because everybody else around you may stop believing. You know what I mean? When the smoke clears, you might be the last one standing, brother. So believe in yourself, believe in your craft, trust in yourself. You know what I mean? You're going to take a lot of bumps and bruises, you know what I mean? But only the strong survive. So at the end of the day, believe in yourself because that's the only thing that really fucking matters in this joint.
Cool, cool, cool. What if one of the artists wanted to do a song with you? How would they be able to contact you?
I would, if you want to do a song with me, hit my Instagram. I'm Pop the Brown Bomber. Hit me in the DM. That's how you do it. That's how you're able to if you're really interested or whatever the case may be. And I don't do no freebies. I ain't come back to do freebies. Whatever the case may be. So don't hit my inbox if you're saying, yo, I got hot shit, I want you to get on. I ain't doing that. You know, if I'm gonna take time to do something, it's going, you know what I mean? The story's supposed to be sold, not told. I ain't doing freebies. I'm sure there's a lot of MCs that's out there. I don't mean to sound like that, but when I go and I attack my craft, trust me, it's gonna be worth your while.
So let me ask you this one thing before we let you go. Do you think there will ever be a day that you and RZA will ever maybe see eye to eye?
I could see eye to eye with RZA tomorrow. You know what I mean? All I would really want RZA to really be like, you know what? At the end of the day, like, yo, I got my idea from out of Stapleton, Staten Island, man. Y'all brothers is the truth, man. That's it, y'all. History is already history. What you did is what you did. Like I said, he had a vision, so he got brothers together. But don't act like you came up with that vision on your own and you just ran with it. Is this vision came from out of Stapleton, Staten Island? This is where you came and this is where you got your vision from. You know what I mean? Don't just act like all of a sudden this shit just dropped out of the sky and then boom, bang, or bang, she's just bang. And I came with the Wu Tang. Nah, it didn't happen that way. You know what I mean? You was the Prince Rakeem. You came around, you fucked around in Stapleton. You got a feel for the Wu Tang movement era. You got with Ghost. Ghost gave you the green light to run with it. You took him as your pupil. Gave him you left the lessons. You left the lessons on his dresser so he could bloom and blossom, create a new way, continue to make more hits with Ray and A. This shit, like you know what I mean. So Ghost really gave him the key because Ghost is the only one that's down with the Wu that lived in Stapleton where the shit was formed. You know what I mean? So he felt it was a-okay, and that's why when you look on the back, a lot of those Wu Tang records, you'll see Ghostface's government, you'll see RZA's government, you'll see Power's government. Those are the dudes that really are the executive producers of this whole Wu Tang shit or whatever the case may be. So I mean, as long as you don't lie, we can see eye to eye. Long as you don't lie, we can see eye to eye.
So do you think the Hulu series is actually an accurate depiction of what
I'm
happened?
gonna tell you, I don't watch the Hulu series, and like RZA was once quoted recently on one of his interviews, is Hollywood, so they had to shuffle the cards a certain way and leave certain people's names out. But I know for a fact one part when they bring up the No More Mr. Nice Guy, that was a beat that was produced by R&S. That was a song that Ghostface was on, Down Low Record was on, and myself was on. And in the Hulu series, is stated that the No More Mr. Nice Guy song was a rebuttal song coming after Method Man's song that was dissing Stapleton. That's not accurate at all. There was also something that went on in the Hulu series where there was a battle that went down. Me and Capadonna. There was a dread back in the days. Everybody know who he was. He threw a function. KRS One was the headliner that night. Then there was a rap battle. I happened to be in that rap battle. I won that rap battle. The dude that do the function, he didn't know who the fuck I was. He was like, "Yo, go get OG," who later became Kappa. Kappa came through, spit his verse. The crowd went crazy. Me and Kappa went back and forth, verse for verse. At the end, it was a tie. It was a tie. This was in Park Villa. Real motherfuckers know, and Kappa could tell you this is the God's honest truth. You know what I mean? So I'm cemented in this shit right here when it comes to Staten Island history. You know what I mean? And brothers know that for actual fact. So
So, what can we look forward to hear from you?
yeah, I got some big things in the making. I don't really want to speak upon it because you know once it's in the universe, I want it just to manifest itself. But since I really came back and reintroduced myself 3 years ago with the Emperor and the King album with King Just, a lot of things been going my way. Look, you know, there's a lot of people that's intrigued and want to know other stories that lie underneath the Wu Tang, you know, because that's how big the Wu Tang is. So all the side stories and whoever was affiliated, they want to hear stories from. So Bob the Brown Hornet could definitely give you a good insight to how the beginning of this shit started, you know, and how it transformed. Like I said, you could do your research. I was down with GP Wu. We was signed to MCA. I had my solo album, Underground Emperor. I was on Shaheem's album. I helped write for Shaheem. I got shout outs on the Wu album. I got shout outs on many albums. And back in the days when the CDs came up, you always see my name pop, the Brown Hornet, and so much shit. You know what I mean? My biggest song to fame is Pop, is Black on Black Crime. You know we got to stop. So I was always pro-black. I probably didn't really even fit in with the Klan and the shit that they was talking about. Like I said, so the legends in doing what they're doing, but I'm legend. I'm a legend out here on Staten Island. Brothers know who I am, and they can expect a lot from me in the upcoming future. Because, like I said, I plan to be one of the ambassadors for Staten Island, a voice for Staten Island, a reasonable voice for Staten Island.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for gracing something for the culture with your presence and your stories and just enlightening us on the back history for those who did not know that you were even a part of the beginning stages of the movement.
And I want to
So
thank
thank
you
you
for
for that.
being patient with me. I know I was supposed to be on the show prior. I know I was late coming on this time. I'm glad everything worked out. I wasn't trying to avoid you. You know what I mean? I know you're a diva and you do what you do. You got a big following. Much blessings and success to you in the future. Much love. And hopefully next time, you know what I mean, I'll be on time. And we just stay in tune. And whatever you need me or whatever the case may be, we just contact each other. I'm here to speak. And if you want to get a live debate with one of the Woo members, I don't give a fuck, you God, Method Man, whoever the fuck the case may be. They know who I be. They know. Y'all know the Brown on it. Stop it.
Well, I appreciate that. Is there any shout outs you want to give to anybody, family members, or any
Yo,
just anybody?
shout out to Stapleton, Staten Island. Shout out to Paul Kill. Shout out to the whole Staten Island, West Brighton, New Brighton, Manus Arbor, Jungle Nils, A Town. You know, Tomville, Port Richmond, yeah, all the whole Staten Island. Shout out to Yusef. Shout out to Diva. Shout out to definitely shout out to Rob Swartz. Yo, Foreman Mandela on all digital platforms. Add that shit to your playlist.
Well, y'all know how to find him. If y'all looking to do some music, he's not doing no freebies, y'all. So y'all better come
Yeah,
with
I'm
some
not doing
money.
no freebies. Shout out to GP Woo. Shout out to Man RNS. Shout out to Phantom of the Beat. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you for having me on your platform. I'm about to go eat, watch and see if what part of New York you from though? What part of New York you from?
Bronx.
Oh, you from the boogie down where the people are. What? They don't yo, that's like a whole part. That's like, yo, that's the real New York. You don't go to the Bronx front, or you might be Thanks for having me. One love. Stapleton,
You is
Staten
crazy.
Island. I'm out. Love. Until next time.
All right,
All right, one.